Welcome to the Nitpicking Nerds. Today, we're discussing the philosophy of Commander.
Specifically, Rule 0, Power Level Discrepancy, Fun, Desire to Win, and the Walking Dead Secret Lair.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. We figured now might be a good time to talk about just the umbrella terms that define EDH and why it's so great and so much fun for literally everyone.
Oh, it's awesome. So before we get into it really quick, Discord's open. If you want to join our Discord, get in there. And if you like our Discord so much, there's actually exclusive things for our patrons or subs to Twitch.
Just head in there and then figure it out from there. It's free. So
exactly.
This is just going to be, we're starting right now. The backbone of EDH, which is Rule 0.
Yeah. So Rule 0 is that if your play group agrees to it, you can do it. That's all there is to it. So if you sit down and say you've got a group of 4, that's your usual play group, and you say, hey, proxies are going to be allowed here. Proxies are then allowed there because that's what your play group agreed on.
Yeah, anything. We want to start the game with the Monarch token in like the center, and the first person to hit someone is the Monarch. Yeah, you can just do that. It doesn't matter. No ban list, extra ban list. Ban Soul Ring, you can ban Basic Mountain. You can literally, as the principle is, as long as all 4 players agree, anything goes.
So one of the main reasons that this is really important to Commander is because what the format really is built on is having fun. And everyone can have fun in a ton of different ways. And if you have say you play Cyclonic Rift's not banned and you like winning, okay? So you're going to play Cyclonic Rift because you're building your deck to be good. But then you sit down with your play group and you're like, hey, why don't we ban it? This way nobody feels bad or feels like they have to run this card because it's just banned here because we don't like it or have fun with it.
Yes, we have never done that, I don't think. We stick to the actual rules as they're printed in text, but I've considered going against it.
The specific ones that we have, there is a couple things we've done. We allow proxies. That is something that obviously you just don't get to do in Magic, but in our play group, we do allow proxies, especially for new decks. If you built a brand new deck and you're testing it, no one has a problem with proxies because we never want anyone to have to go and spend hundreds of dollars on a deck that they're not even sure they want to play yet.
Yeah, I was talking about bans and unbans. We allow proxies.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Exactly. Yeah, bans and unbans, we've never banned something. I wouldn't be sad if in our play group went, say 5 of our play group approached us and we're going to ban Gaia's Cradle. I'd be like, yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Okay, forget it.
Yeah, because I don't like Gaia's Cradle in the format. I don't think it should be. That's just something I would agree to. It's I don't know if it would make it more fun or it definitely wouldn't make it less fun. I don't know if that would necessarily make it more fun, but hey, I would like it.
I will give Gaia's Cradle the award for most awkward proxy to play against. Because it warps your deck and you're like, if I have Gaia's Cradle in my deck, whether or not it's real, I'm going to go out of my way to find it every single game because it's the dumbest card ever. And then you're like, oh, they're tapping for 6, huh? Yeah, that's a real card. And you just feel weird. You're like, yeah, my proxy was a Mind Stone.
Yeah, so just to go over Rule 0 real quick again. Whatever commander you want, whatever your play group wants to be for Commander, if it can agree upon those rules, Commander is that. And that's the backbone of this whole format, is that it is about playing to have fun and playing in the way that you enjoy Magic.
Yeah, stay comfortable with how you play. Next is the power level discrepancy. This is the most, especially in the last year, maybe not so much now, but it was the most talked about thing. No one can agree on power levels. Have we really had trouble doing that? We kind of get it right, I think.
I think one thing that's really important with our play group is that we often sit down and sometimes we don't pull out the right deck and or adjust correctly. And I think the main thing is you got to realize that if you build a lower level deck, okay, so that's what you've done. You built a 6 or 7 and you pull it out and you're playing at 7 to 8. What tends to happen in our play group is we go, yeah, we're probably going to lose this game, but we've accepted that because I wanted to play my whatever deck.
I want to get a test game in. I think one thing we started doing very recently, I noticed how effective it was when we had 8 people and we're like, we got to split into 2 pods of 4. We were literally just all right, Mana Crypt pod and Soul Ring pod. And it was that worked so well. Both of those games went perfectly. And I think if one person would have switched, they would have got owned.
Yeah, exactly. We literally, me, Beezy, and a couple other friends literally split into a pod where it's this is basically 8-9 power level. We're not playing CDH, but we're playing very powerful. There are protein hulks in these decks that are going to combo off. There's stuff like that in here.
I think power level, the 1 through 10 is a little idealistic. Like, how are you ever gonna? You can't ever define all these friggin' numbers to where like my deck's a 6, and then they're like my deck's a 6. I have Eternal Witness is the best card in my deck, and the other person's like, oh, I have like Mana Vault in my deck. I think like maybe staying the cards in your deck or the staples you like to play with that are full in your decks, maybe that's a better way to do it.
I do feel though that people are coming to a better understanding of what that is. I think it's tougher with the lower levels because I think what happens is with people who are only playing at lower levels and not seeing those 8s and 9s decks and those CDH decks, they tend to maybe overestimate their deck because maybe their deck consistently wins in their 5 or 6 meta and they're like, well, this isn't a 7 or an 8, but it's actually just a really good 6 that is getting consistent wins.
I think you could even just go by like, what's your win con? Like, is it really that big of a deal if you tell them your win con? Like, how many times are you going to surprise somebody you always play with? And if you're just trying to figure out, it's worth giving away your win condition or one of them to just figure out where you're at. Like, oh, how are you going to win? I have a Protean Hulk combo. It's like, how are you going to win? I got N-Rays Forerunners. Like, oh, we're probably not on the same level.
Yeah, and coming to that and realizing that you want to be playing around the same level is very helpful. But also, if you go into, like I said, if you go into a game with the knowledge of, I know what my deck is, I know how powerful it is, and I understand that maybe these decks are more powerful, you're also going to have fun. Because you might lose, but it's like, if you're not, it can be a goal where it's like, you're not completely set on winning. Your goal is to enjoy yourself with this deck, and that's completely doable in EDH.
But the opposite of that is not completely doable, because then you're saying, my deck's too powerful for this pod, I don't care, and I'm going to have fun anyway. But then the other 3 people don't have fun, so we're going to call that not good.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do that.
Yeah, do not bring your CDH deck into a game where you know the power level is 5-6.
Unless they're cool with it, because sometimes they're like, oh yeah, let's basically arch enemy. And they're like, we like the challenge of, but you literally just talk to them, because if they like it, it's fine, it doesn't matter. If they don't like it, then you're doing something wrong.
Because this is literally, even though it's not exact, it doesn't change the rules, it is basically rule 0, where if everyone agrees and everyone knows what's going on, then it's fun. It's when somebody is misunderstanding or someone didn't say something that needed to be known right away.
Yeah, don't lie, don't backstab, don't pull the rug out from anybody. It's just stupid, and then no one's going to want to play with you, and you'll have no friends.
I don't even hate having to do like a backstabby play once in a while, because it is a game where
No, I'm talking about like outside of the game. Like, okay. I'm bringing the CDH deck, haha, got you.
Okay.
Like that pub stomping.
Oh yeah, that makes it a little more. I was saying like, yeah, backstabby plays like once in a while that's going to happen.
I'll break a deal. Deals are made to be broken.
I mean, I kind of did. I mean, one of our friends sitting to the left of me countered a thing with Mana Leak, so he didn't have or not Mana Leak, Mana Drain, and didn't have Cyclonic Rift up then, and I still tried to kill him. Mm-hmm. It's like, because I had to, because it's like I was very aware of how big of a threat he was at the table, and it's like, I have to let you counter that, and then I have to try and kill you also.
Right. Anyway, we're getting away from power level discrepancy, but we covered everything we wanted to. So now on to fun. It's the most important thing in the format, always, I think.
And so this is where it's going to be like really, really good for us to talk about like our video where we did cards that were unplayable. So fun is completely subjective, and how you play is up to you. And a lot of this is just like, it is us repeating in this video that you are in control of EDH. EDH is whatever you make it.
It's your own personal format.
Me and BZ, when we build decks and when we talked about unplayable, we're talking about, for us, in an 8 to 9 power level, how we construct decks. Obviously, you can build something that has a 9 power level that has a Grave Titan in it. That's totally doable. Like, obviously it's doable because the other 98 cards could just be
CDH.
Could just be CDH. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, and that is completely feasible. It's all about what's fun to you. And if you enjoy playing Grave Titan, never let me tell you that it's unplayable. I mean, I'll say it's unplayable because that's my opinion, but that doesn't mean you don't get to play it.
Right. If you're looking for advice, you can come to us for advice and say, hey, well, I haven't thought about it that way. I'll take it into consideration. But if you just have a personal preference, a budget restriction, or any one of your own thoughts, that just obviously trumps anyone on the internet's opinion. They're not you. They don't like the same cards you like. So just, take it with a grain of salt, or go, I'm looking for advice, and then, okay, I'll listen to your advice.
Yeah, it's like I said, EDH it's so fun. I mean, I have gone through phases of not liking it in the past to like, this is my favorite format now, not even close. because I've completely like changed my mindset about it. Where I wasn't basically, this is actually a discrepancy that's we're gonna be going into desire or win next, and I was overly desiring the win, and like realistically, you have to look at your chances to win when you sit down as 25%. That's how you have to think about it. It might be higher, it might be lower, but when you sit down in a 4-player game, it's essentially 25% if everything's even. But when you sit down in the game of 2-player, it's 50%, and you're going to win much more, obviously. And that was a weird feeling for me when I first started Magic, where it's like, I'm losing so much in this format, and I hate it.
You're going to lose 3/4 of the time.
And and there's nothing wrong with that. That's something you have to realize, that this format, you're going to win less. There's just nothing you could ever do to stop that.
Other than, like, pub stomping or playing the archenemy thing. But, let's say most of the time, you're going to win 3/4 of the time, or even less, because I've had plenty of games that I was about to win where someone just did something goofy and then I don't win.
Yeah, I mean, you literally, this literally happened the other day. Great story again. You, and another friend were in the game, and he had like this combo deck, and you were about to untap with like 25 mana with your blue deck, and you would have just won. So you cast your final counter spell to stop him from doing something.
Yeah.
And I literally just countered it so that he would win.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I would get second place.
Yep.
And it was just silly. And it's like, it doesn't matter, because ultimately, all that's remembered about that game is that silly play and how fun it was.
Yeah, that game was actually just pure nonsense.
It was
that was one of the, maybe we'll do it as a tidbit, but that was like the dumbest way I've ever killed somebody.
Oh, it was such a great game, and it was so fun. And literally, I just like, okay, this game's over. Either BZ counters that spell and he wins, or I counter BZ's spell now
and I get second.
And I get second place, and I get fake bragging rights that don't matter at all.
Right, yeah. But Joe wasn't going to win either way.
I was dead. The way my Yuriko deck plays is if it falls behind, it's CDH-esque in that way, where it's like if it falls behind, it has a lot of trouble rebuilding.
Like, how are you going to catch up with all 1 and 2 mana spells?
Yeah, exactly. It's tough to catch. Yeah, it's tough to catch up when it's Slither Blades in my hand.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move that over to the side. Not useful. Okay. The desire to win. Yeah. I think it's perfectly healthy to desire to win every single game of Commander you can play. You can want to win and have fun every time.
Yeah. This is actually the reason when I sit down in the game of VDH, I do have a desire to win. And I prefer and like that all the people sitting at my table have that desire to win.
Yeah, it's not objective, but I think you should. I think it will improve the game, because if someone's there not to win and everyone doesn't agree on it, that's, put asterisk, everyone doesn't agree on it at the end of every sentence. But if someone's there not to win, it's just going to feel weird when they make these plays that just go, what? Why would you do that? You're hurting several people's chance to win, and you don't even get anything out of it. It's just weird.
That's how I feel about group hug decks overall. Like, I see the appeal, and I see how certain play groups will enjoy them. No problem with them as a whole. When it comes to my play group, if me, BZ, and our friend Ken sit down, and then the fourth person doesn't say, and he's just playing a group hug deck, it's going to be weird. Because essentially, a lot of things that group hug decks tend to do is they accelerate everybody, so they accelerate the best deck the most.
Yeah.
Obviously, if the best deck gets more resources, it's more likely to win faster. And it's just this weird thing that it just throws off the balance of the game. And I'm not a huge fan of that. Again, it's just, I guess it's the same. It's another asterisk at the end of every sentence. If you enjoy it and your play group enjoys it, you can do it.
Asterisk rule 0 might just be in the bottom corner for the whole video. That's how much it matters. That's how important it is. That's why we went over it first. We can move on to the last one, though. It's just our thoughts on The Walking Dead, because everyone in the entire world hates it.
Yeah. So, okay, there's a lot about this that we can go over. There's so much.
Well, let's stick to the philosophy, how it ties to the philosophy.
So, one of the big issues in how this ties to philosophy is these cards are quote unquote, because I'm not even making a super. I'm not a big fan of this product, but I don't hate it as much as other people. Quote unquote predatory marketing. And I'm not trying to, again, I'm not specifically calling Wizards out here, but I am making a statement that this does seem like predatory marketing. And these can only be gotten through direct purchase from Wizards. So a lot of people have called for the direct banning of these cards because of the philosophy of EDH and how it works. That people aren't going to have access to these cards because they literally have to purchase them straight from Wizards, and it's $50. That's not cheap.
No.
For a lot of players, that's literally something that they're going to put into a whole deck.
Or if you want Michonne, you have to pay $50, and then you just have 4 other cards.
Yeah.
Obviously, those are going to pay back the $50, but still.
Yeah, exactly. And like people are calling for these to be banned. And the other side, so we don't think this should be banned. I think we should go over that quick. I don't think this should be banned at all, especially with the fact that they can quote unquote reverse Godzilla it.
Yeah, they basically will. I mean, I think it's almost inevitable that they will. I think it's stupid that we have to go through this nonsense, and I think really weird that the rules committee didn't listen to the 95% ban them poll. Like, why make the poll? Mm-hmm. Because it was 30,000 votes. I don't know if you saw, but 30,000 votes. They're like, hey, should we ban these cards? 30,000 votes. 28,500 were like, yes, ban them. And then it was 4 or 5% that said don't ban them.
So, yeah, what is the point of the poll?
I thought it was a little bizarre on the rules committee part, really bizarre on Wizards' part. I would love if we stopped doing these. That being said, it's not going to kill Magic. It's just a dumb thing that happened.
Like, I think what would be much better for things like this is, so if you want to do these secret layers with these exclusive cards, what you should do is they should be accompanied by the regular release of the card. It's like, so simultaneously, like say when Zendikar was coming out, okay, they're like, all these cards are Zendikar cards, but here's the Walking Dead versions. But they're like, that's so much better. It's like, yeah, you can only get those exclusive, the cool exclusive versions through that, but it's like, we're also getting them in Zendikar, so they're actually available.
I'd be fine with, these are now exclusive, these are the only ones you can get, but we are reprinting all 5 of them exactly as Magic cards in 2 sets from now. Like, give me an exact time when I'm going to be able to get the actual cards, and I'm okay with it. This is weird because, well, what do they mean when they say they're going to reprint it? Like 2 years? Like 2 years from now? 5 years from now? And never? And they just say it? Anyway, the actual cards themselves, yeah, we thought they shouldn't be banned because it's Rule 0. Proxies. You don't need these cards to have fun in Commander, right? It's just, I thought it was dumb outside of Commander, and it's unfortunate if you want the cards and can't get them, but that's a lot like, I want Gaia's Cradle, but I can't afford it.
Yeah, it's very similar. The one last thing about The Walking Dead. People have been calling for Negan to be banned because he is quote unquote,
he's problematic.
He's problematic. He's a horrible person in the show, and he literally like beats people's head with baseball bats.
Yeah, he's like depicted doing really bad things.
It's like, yeah, but it's so on that same note, is that it's Negan in the show never did anything or in the comics, never did anything half as bad as what Nicol Bolas or Yawgmoth or many other Magic villains have done.
Right. It's a little confusing. They're equally fictional, which is 0% real. They're equally fictional. And, Nicol Bolas, let's say, multiple instances of mass genocide, murder, torture, enslavement, just literally the worst things I can even think of.
Yeah, I like that you chose that term because I used that in the chat. I'm like, that they're equally fictional. I'm like, both characters are equally fictional. It's like, they're both fake.
It might be like Negan's a human and he looks like a real dude and he's portrayed by a real human. But that seems like basic cognitive separating myth from reality type stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I would just say that if we were in charge, we would never, I don't think we would consider that.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that
Maybe
at all.
We're missing something, but let us know if we are.
Yeah, there's no chance I would ban Negan. I don't see it at all. I'm like, again, if there wasn't all the other problems with the predatory marketing, with these being exclusive cards and all that, I wouldn't have a problem with Negan existing on a Magic card because I'm fine with crossovers. You want to do crossovers? I understand. It's cool, and it brings in other people who people would want to collect these cards that don't play Magic, and that's cool.
Collector's items, yeah.
It's like, it's cool to have collector's items. All that is fine. It's just my issue is that these are cards that are exclusive. It's like, I even understand like not wanting to put the Godzilla thing. Like, okay, I don't want to put the name under there because it like kind of quote unquote like defeats that it's red.
Yeah, it deflates it.
It's like, and I get that. It's like, you can do that, and like all you have to do is make sure that you can do it in reverse. Then it's like, that's fine. I'm totally fine with Rick being the real card. Whatever, I'll deal with that.
I don't care that Rick exists in the multiverse. I really don't.
It's like
some people were. I don't remember who it was, but someone was irritated about that. Maybe it was the professor. It just doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I also think it's pretty. One of my favorite and like funny things to say is Magic just has cool names. Like the plainest name in Magic is Jace, basically, and that's still
they're all very fantastical names.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm playing. Who's your commander? Rick.
It's Rick
or Daryl.
Oh man, Daryl might be even better.
Also, Daryl's great. That card is so strong.
That card looks
holy crap.
really good. That's like the only Gruul commander I've ever looked at twice.
That card's so good. Oh yeah, we were talking about like if you get to it's not. This is a like you could play it on turn 3 and go just wait till I untap with it and then I'll win because it's so insane.
Yeah, I don't have to wait very long. I'll play Pyroclasm, kill all your creatures, and then just get an Ancestral Recall.
Oh yeah, and on top of that, he's a 4/4 for 4. That card's so good.
It just taps to deal 2 to a creature.
Also,
that just stay. You can just keep doing that.
Oh man, so a lot of these cards are so good. Also on top of that, I think for a humans deck, Rick is insane. Holy crap, he's so good for a humans deck.
He looks good. We did order multiple copies of The Walking Dead Secret Lair specifically to give away to people watching because we know that it's dumb that not everybody can afford it. So some people are just going to get them for free. Yeah. We're basically trying to give some people who might not have the chance to get them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to be clear that we're going to do this for a viewer and not just a patron. So it's like you don't have to put money and throw money at us. I don't know how we're going to do this. I'll have to figure out. It'd probably be something with Twitter. I imagine
you might be able to link it to like a subscriber.
Yeah, we're going to do something like that where it's like it's not because we want to be able to give these to somebody. And they might be someone who doesn't have money problems, but we can't prevent that.
Yeah.
But it's just like this is the idea. It's like anybody can get this. We know people want it, and we want to give it to somebody.
Right. So we can move on to the shout outs.
Yeah. Special shout outs to all of our patrons. You guys make this channel really function, and you guys are awesome. Like I said, I'm in Discord every day talking to them. Now you can be in Discord. All you have to do is use a link in the description. And if you want to be in the super secret Discord, that is literally called, I love that
it's the channels, but better.
Yeah, it's literally random, but better. It's the same exact thing except for it's but better.
Right. You can also buy merch or cards through the TCG Player link in the description. For merch, click the link, buy the merch, easy. TCG Player, navigate where you want from the link, buy the cards, we get a kickback on the order. It's going to be great for everybody involved.
Yeah, this is awesome. I stream on Twitch weekdays at 10 o'clock. I've been doing like 3 to 4 hour streams depending on how I'm feeling. And it's been super fun. I've been getting more and more viewers. And I love interacting with, especially if you're a fan of this channel. Like, if you're a fan of me drafting, cool. I love interacting with you too. But it's like when you love my EDH stuff and you want to come in and talk about it, I'll talk about it all day.
Oh, yeah. Tidbits, I think we have like 2. The first one, I've gotten a lot of comments when I was really surprised. A lot of comments on YouTube and then a couple on Discord today where they were saying, oh, you guys are actually in your Discord and you're talking to people.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody else does that. I'm like, whoa, really? Well, apparently one of our strong suits is always responding to comments and always, like at least talking in our own Discord. That's so weird.
Yeah, like I was literally in general chat with like probably 8 other people today. Just sitting in there talking about random EDH stuff.
Yeah, I'm in there more and more. I'm off this week from work, so I've just been hanging out like every day.
Yeah, it's like I'm literally like every day I always type in chat and say stuff every single day.
Yeah, to me it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's like I want to interact with you guys.
They're the reason we're here.
Yeah, you guys are literally exactly. You're the reason that we make videos at all because we sat down and we started making videos for fun at first, and then it's like, well, we don't have the time to put into that if we're not getting anything back.
When we're competitive, we're just like, let's see how good we can make this.
Yeah, that's true. But what I'm saying is like, if we weren't getting any, like, if we were as big as we were 2 years ago, we wouldn't be able to do this because we just wouldn't be able to function as adults.
Yeah, we gotta have
jobs.
Right, but if this is our job and we keep growing, guess what? I'm literally just gonna live on the freaking Discord. There'll be more engagement. It won't even be less.
Yeah, definitely a ton of engagement, and like you can. It's the same thing with like if you head over to my Twitch. It's like I'm literally always talking to everybody in there because I want to. I want to talk to you guys. Like it's so fun, and like I love hearing the different ways you play DH. Like we were talking about Folio Fancies today. My personal opinion, I would never play that card, but it's like we was just a discussion piece that came up. It's like, well, let's talk about Folio Fancies. You want to play it in your deck? Why do you want to play it in your deck? Yeah, and it was just a discussion piece.
Commander tune-ups. Now that it's behind a paywall, right? You can't just say, hey, can you upgrade this deck, and then we'll automatically do it. Because we just scaled too much. But you can literally do that in the Discord, and us, including our patrons and just random chat members, will offer advice.
Yeah.
But anyway, the second tidbit was we already hinted at that game we played.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an opponent who was going to combo off, and then he played Word of Command on me.
Oh.
Which lets you choose, like they reveal their hand, and you choose a card, and they have to cast it. And I think what did I Narset's Reversal it?
And he had Toxic Deluge in his hand.
No. So I Narset's Reversaled it, and he didn't not have Toxic Deluge. But I'm like, okay, so let me see your hand. And he had Command the Dreadhorde.
Oh yeah.
And so I targeted
yeah.
every creature in every graveyard, and he just took like 1,000 damage.
Oh, that was really good.
Yeah, Word of Command is complete nonsense. That was just a crazy win.
So you want to know another really, really funny random thing with Word of Command because of how it is worded?
Yeah, I don't want this video to ever end.
This is the last little thing. If, say, someone controls the Necropotence and you target them with Word of Command, you can kill them with a Necropotence.
Right, you make the decisions while the spell is happening or something?
You control that player until the spell resolves.
So
it's so random.
All right, spell on the stack, kill myself.
It's so dumb. It's just, oh, man. That's
Anyway.
great. Yeah, Word of Command's funny.
Turns out EDH is fun.
Yeah, EDH is a great format. Peace out, Tribe Scout.